Is that
saw further down below.
So you're about 10 meters into a 15-meter move.
Little white,
the little crabs?
what we thought were sulfur blebs with the little.
so if you want to go ahead and hold it here, this looks good,
Okay.
and then we'll turn Sirius
on that surface.
more to starboard. And,
I'm going to hold it.
yeah.
Current
So
position.
there's something
Yeah.
I think that's happening with this fish.
Pretty driving now.
Probably micro. But as at the beginning of the dive, we mentioned there's
Can we hold current position,
never
please?
been any record of any fish microbial relationship. So, but this is just so peculiar that these fish are all out on these hard sulfur surfaces.
So I'm curious if there's if we can see inside this depression here, because with that kind of haze coming out, it looks like a lot of these sulfur flows originated from here. So I think at one point this must have had.
Watch lead pilot?
Go ahead, watch lead.
Can we manage to get a look into this pit where the smoke is coming out
I'll try my best.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to try to do this, Bill.
Okay, you want to come up a few
Yeah,
meters?
I don't see anything down there. It looks
Me either.
that the light-colored surfaces seem to line the depression on the sides, and you know the way the sulfur pond looked before, you know, there was a real lake shore to it, and the whole surface of it was dark black. So I don't see anything like that in there.
No, me either.
Quite a bit of that sulfur
Can zoom in
haze
partial?
coming out, but
Yeah.
it could just be coming out in the
I don't know how well we're
hydrothermal
going to be able to
fluid.
see in there.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like that whole thing probably was filled up with sulfur before and when it made that flow, but it may have just drained back in.
So you think the ledge right in front of us might be a previous margin of the pool? See the dark ledge on the bottom of the screen?
Definitely could. It looked like the sulfur just flowed right out of this depression and down that slope where we were just looking.
Yeah.
Flatfish
And
in the
formed,
water column.
and, you know, now it's a crust that is hardened.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. You can,
Yeah,
it's very crusty.
It didn't look like a really big flow. It looked like just enough to get over the lip and run down the hill a little bit.
Right, exactly.
Sort of consistent with what we saw on sulfur ponds. Would they be sort of roiling with gas bubbles coming up through them?
Yep.
So you get a little burst of gas, and it pushes a bunch of sulfur out, solidifies.
All right, you can turn starboard.
It reminds me of those
Facing me.
those Dairy Queen
Kind of get another direction
soft serve cones where you
shortly.
Could we get a bit more of a zoom on
We can
this now
certainly
that we have a
zoom
good
in.
view?
Go ahead.
Oh, that's really great.
So the sulfur crusts are kind of like that. I think they're kind of thin and brittle.
Hold there.
Hold there.
You know, at one point they were molten, and then the
beautiful.
seawater. Because we have to remember we're underwater. The seawater cools it all down and solidifies it.
Yeah.
So at the bottom of this pit, you can see the bacterial mat sort of floating around, gets a little bit broken off. There's bacterial mat in the middle of the screen.
Okay. Zoom out partial.
We're looking at a very...
I think there's definitely no molten pond in that
Could we
depression.
zoom on that crab?
That was a good view.
Sure. Go ahead and zoom in.
Pretty clearly there was in the past,
interesting.
in the
Hold there.
recent past.
Folks on shore, is this the same
I
crab?
know, like, sampling is not the big thing here, but if
Coming out just a bit.
Yeah.
there's
Sorry, the
interest, I
current's
think grabbing
fighting
a
the
chunk
current
of
here.
that sulfur slab might make an interesting rock sample.
That is really good video.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
It probably would be quite easy to break off. So
Do you
I
think
got
it would be too friable? Would it just get crushed?
Yeah, that's fine. So we're just staying stable here.
People on shore are wondering about sampling some of the sulfur crust material. It looks pretty thin. What do you think, pilot?
Is it the white coloration?
Friable.
The darker stuff.
Have a slab of it.
I think they mean this.
Yeah, laser.
Right,
Yeah, where the lasers were.
Yeah. Let's come out. Yeah.
If you're going to do that, I would maybe do it down
Copy
the
that.
slope
Temperatures.
where we're looking, you know, where those...
Both holding
where
at
we
like
saw
13
that
Celsius.
crust was downslope. Those,
The layers.
yeah, the layers.
we saw the
That
crab.
probably be easier to approach.
or if you see somewhere else, that's fine
Down
too.
I mean, yeah, let me back up a bit.
the slightly
you wanna-
layered stuff on the left
little
side
crust
of the screen maybe might be
remains
easier
in the
to
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
Probably right
That's what we're
around the
looking
edge
for?
of
Oh,
the
there,
pond.
you know, kind of just to the right of middle and downslope.
Yeah, and-
That looks like you might be able to break it off. It might slide down the slope, though.
Sure.
Yeah, so maybe we can
Yeah,
try
it's
for the
just,
stuff on, and the
mantle,
lasers.
the edge of that crater too.
And that actually will work
Yeah,
out well
right.
because my back will be
Coating
into the...
that whole little
current.
ridge there.
So this stuff is going to be real brittle? Is that-
Probably brittle, but I'm
Okay.
not really sure.
Yeah. Let's...
That gray stuff with the edges is definitely brittle, but sampleable. The light white
Yeah, you can-
color is.
you can include-
is
I mean,
the,
I don't think it's a
microbial
danger.
mass
It's
that's
only
all
a
fluffy.
danger if we start
Right,
moving,
yeah,
right? So we'll keep an eye
understood.
on it when we
There's
pick
these
up.
A little bit grayer
Yeah.
surfaces.
Sure.
Yeah, I've got that. One of the considerations that the co-pilot are discussing is the position of the tether.
I don't think it'll be an issue,
Not a
actually.
problem? Okay,
Right. Oh yeah. Sirius is a little bit in front of the ROV. Huh?
correct. Yep. Yeah, actually it's immediately above it, but the tether is in front of it a little bit.
I
So what do
actually
you think, pilot?
I actually think this stuff in front of me would be easier to grab.
Okay.
Yeah, is that what we're looking
whatever.
for?
Yes, whatever
Okay.
you can grab. The stuff that the lasers are on right now would be
Yeah.
fine. And in this position, it's less likely to go down the slope.
Yeah. Okay, we can try for it. And then just want to avoid
Here.
getting any part of the vehicle, over any of the hot spots. So
Oh yeah.
CTD
absolutely.
temperatures look nice and chilly.
okay, good. Good. Back up a bit.
Okay, we're getting set up to take our first geologic sample.
I saw it.
All ready to sample. But when you're done, would you mind doing an introduction of yourselves for
Sure.
our folks at home?
And they want you to wave to the camera so they know who's talking. Apparently, there you have a bunch of groupies back there who are following you.
Not surprising.
So as we are getting set up to make this collection, just wanted to say hi to everyone out there. This is the NOAA ship Okeanos Explorer, which is America's ship for ocean exploration, and we are coming to you live from Daikoku Seamount. And we're exploring some unknown areas of the Mariana Trench area. Is this part of the monument?
Yeah.
It is part of the
It's
National
part of the
Marine
islands the islands part of the monument.
Okay. My name is Shirley Pomponi. I'm the biology science lead on this leg of this mission, and the person you've been hearing from a lot is our resident geologist.
I am a marine geologist.
That's
This is Patty Fryer. I'm
prop
from
wash.
the University of Hawaii. I'm a research
the white
professor
floating
in the
chunks.
Hawaii Institute of Geology, Geophysics, and Planetology on the island of Oahu in Manoa Valley.
And I guess I should
Stirring
say I'm
stuff
from
up.
Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute
You
at
should.
Florida Atlantic University, and also head of the
That's pretty good,
Cooperative
yeah.
Institute for Ocean Exploration Research and Technology. Our partners out here on the ship who are expertly operating and maintaining these amazing vehicles that are
can
bringing you
alleviate
these
that a bit.
images and samples are from the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration. And they will be introducing themselves as soon as they are comfortable doing that, because they're getting set up to make a collection.
Yeah, they're the folks who have designed and built and are continuing to upgrade the remotely operated vehicle, the Discovery 2, D2 we call it.
Deep Discoverer.
Deep Discoverer, sorry. And it's you could take a look at it if you switch to your
too far above it.
feed 2, and that's a look from
give it a shot.
the vehicle called Sirius,
Ramp up
which
hydraulics.
is above the ROV on a tether that is about 30 meters long. And then Sirius is attached to the ship on the surface. And what we have to do in order to maneuver the remotely operated vehicle.
So if this stuff
D2
if this stuff is really fragile, Watchley, do we want to put it in a bio box?
yes, thank you.
Yeah, so we'll need the starboard valve pack.
Yeah, I figure it's going to break up.
Nothing
So this,
for the arm.
yep, this mission is designed and supported by
and
NOAA's Office
probably
of
go with the
Exploration
starboard
and
bio
Research,
box,
or
'cause,
OER.
Okay.
Okay, roger that.
Easier boxes
Yeah,
for
we're going to
later.
put it in the starboard box. Right. The ship itself is operated by NOAA's Office of Marine and Aviation Operations.
Now,
and
when we get there,
this
maybe
current
you can advise
mission,
me on which valves.
this expedition is part of a 3-year campaign. It's called Capstone. That stands for the campaign to address the Pacific Monument science, technology, and ocean needs.
Pilot,
so
should I
it's
take your
designed to
cameras?
address the needs of the resource managers for these
Okay, I have
monuments to
both.
better understand
Just
the
nav
deepest
and
parts.
co-pilot. Keep an eye on
of our nation's
serious
marine
drifting if the
monuments.
current
We
changes.
have several partners
good?
in this effort.
Yes. Okay, you moved it. Great.
All right. Yeah, watch.
NOAA's National Marine Fisheries Service, Marine National Monuments Program, the Deep Sea Coral Research and Technology Program,
Actually, if you could tilt down
and the
just a hair.
National Center for
near
Environmental
me?
Information. We'll talk a little bit more about
Maybe up
those
just
partners
until
and
we
their
get the
roles
lasers.
in this mission.
Oh, you want the lasers
Right there.
on it.
A little bit
That's good.
later.
Yep, because it's kind of cool to watch us getting set up, watch the pilots getting set up to do these collections.
All right, watch leads. We're set up. We're gonna give it a shot. I might be a little too high, but we'll see it. I can reposition if we need to. But
Right, so might
just-
be beyond your reach.
yeah. But
Okay.
before we get started, up in the front row now, we've got.
Introduction.
Oh, and look
Yep.
at I don't know if you're on the camera or not, but if you are, okay, hold on. Roland's going to put you there. Okay, because you need to wave to your fans, friends, and family on shore.
Big smiles, guys. Bat those eyelashes.
All right, so we've got Richard. Oh, it's on stream 2. We got
Stream
Richard
2.
as our navigator in training. We've got Levi
Right here.
in nav right now, and I'm Dan. I'm in pilot, and we've got Dave in co-pilot. And off camera is Tara Smithy in the video seat. She likes to keep herself out of the limelight. And then in the back we've got video engineer Roland Bryan in the clipping station right now.
Right.
So we're all with the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration,
Great.
and hopefully about to deliver you a good sample here.
Great.
Let's see what we can do.
Thanks very much.
That's bad luck.
I see a
I don't
lot of the
believe in luck.
flatfish wiggling around in front of where
We
the
don't need
snap
luck.
is.
We've got
I'm gonna
science.
be really interested to see what the fish do
All right. Would you like me to follow
when the
you with
pilot
your
picks
pan
up
tilt?
that fragment of the
Sure.
rock.
Well, they may,
You know,
there
they
may be
may
sediment
dive
that's
for it.
disturbed and
Yeah,
well
they may
underneath
go
the
for it.
the sediment that might be underneath there.
Yeah, come down.
Okay.
Under. Oh,
So all the
First
video
one is
that you
working
see
again.
coming to
That's
you
That's
is
force one.
being
yeah.
clipped
That's
in real
speedy.
time, doing sort of best of grabs. And what you folks can do is you can go on the Okeanos Explorer website and you can download these. You can look at them, review the dive at your leisure, or tell your friends, hey, I saw something really cool today, and you can show them and put it up on Facebook, or take a screen grab and put it in a tweet and let the world know. So the pilots usually just, touch material. Ha!
Just touched it
And
it started
suddenly we
bubbling.
get a whole bunch of CO2
Interesting.
bubbles coming out. I don't know if
What do
we're
you
going to be
think?
able
Put
to
2 of your
break
fingers
this
under?
free.
That's what I'm thinking.
We shall see.
Maybe try to break off a piece.
Oh, break it. Uh-oh.
Maybe over on that left-hand edge where you can see it's real thin. You suppose maybe you could just break off that little chunk. that is sticking out in the water. If anything if anything breaks off, we can just try to grab it, maybe. If it's a larger amount. This stuff is really crumbly, folks.
Okay.
I'm not sure
I might.
we're going to be able to get it, but give it a try.
That's a.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that just crumbled.
I have a little
Oh, we got a
cloud.
piece. We got a piece.
We have a piece. That is so amazing. Perfect.
Do you want to get this in a
Wonderful.
bio
That
box?
looks
quick?
dangerous.
In the bio
yeah,
box.
in the bio box, please.
Plant it
Maybe
that
we
way,
don't
right?
have to
Can
look
you-
at it
Let's
real
just get it in the
close.
box.
Right, get it in the box before it breaks up and falls
Retract
away.
both pins and then extend the starboard. Retract both.
Port.
Yeah.
Yep.
Retract.
Our bio
starboard.
boxes are right
And then,
underneath
go
the
ahead and
remotely operated
extend
vehicles. So what the
starboard.
pilots
Yeah.
do is they move
Just for a few
the
seconds, it'll do
sampling
it.
That's
sled
just a second or two,
forward
right?
out in front
then,
of the ROV.
Drawer that
And
puppy out.
that's going
Just
to open it,
full drawer
open
out.
them up so that
It's on the bottom right.
I think you're
Yes.
going to be
Yeah,
able
keep
to
an eye on the
see
drawer when you're. Yeah.
Yep.
the
It shouldn't
sampling,
hit anything now.
the bio boxes on the sampling sled
Pulling it out.
closer
got
to the
the
base of the
valves
ROV
right. Yep. Yes, I
in
did.
front
That's good.
of these black boxes, which are our
close to
rock
your-
boxes.
Yep.
Okay, I have a little more.
This
Oh,
guy
good.
keep
is
going.
a piece of sulfur crust.
That's it.
And it's going in the port bio box.
Starboard.
No, starboard.
Hi, sorry. Jeez.
Can you
I've
follow
been
me over?
getting left
please?
and right confused
On mini
all
Zeus?
cruise.
Would you like some zoom?
No, thanks. It's all right.
Good,
Got
because
it.
that's
Minute
not up
game.
to me.
Starboard bio box. Looks like
Starboard
aiming for
inboard.
the inner.
Inboard bio
And we
box.
don't count it as a sample.
Starboard
so it's
inner?
actually in there.
Nice.
Yes,
It's in
Now,
there.
it is.
now I can hit the collect button. Okay.
Oh,
Job
that-
done.
that
Are
was
you clear to
great.
close it up?
Very nice.
Yes.
Closing drawer. And retracting. That's right.
Yep. Yep. Retract both pins.
Retracting starboard.
And I'll take my mini Zeus back and I'll
Okay.
set
Oh,
up.
you did it yourself.
Yeah.
And retracting port.
Yep. So the reason we do that is just if we do have a sample that'll float away or swim away, we want to make sure that the
Yes.
bio
Well,
boxes
the fish
are
have not
closed.
gone up to investigate that
Okay.
debris that got displaced when we moved that chunk. So they're still, as far as I can see, they're still down to the left. But there is CO2 coming up from underneath that thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's coming up everywhere, and I think anytime you shake anything loose, it opens up a valve for the gas to escape.
Hydraulic secure.
I'm going to give your Zeus back.
Sure. We can go ahead and ramp down the HPU.
Okay. Valve pack's going off. Ramping down and off.
Oh, here comes another pulse of CO2 bubbles.
Do I hear a call from workshop?
I didn't hear one.
Somebody's got an open mic. Might- Okay.
Pilot, are you hearing an open mic from
Yeah.
shore?
No, it's on the ship, but I think they got it. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Let's get out of here.
Ready to move. Yeah, all right.
It's getting cloudy.
All right. I'm going to take my camera back, or my screen back.
Yep. Perfect.
It's pretty clear this whole area is underlain by gases
If you come up
coming up
much more,
from
I'm
below,
going to need to pull
and
in.
Yeah, why don't you come up?
likely anytime you disturb the surface, you're going to get
Ooh,
That's,
a
if you
bit of
could
that
turn to
cloud
port, I'd
forming.
appreciate that.
I think the tether's
Now,
clear.
if we keep going
Okay.
around to the left, it looks like things are much clearer.
Ooh. I'm just going to back off this a bit, let the current clean it up.
Okay. Pilot, has the
Yeah.
current changed? Are you
No,
feeling
it's still, well, right now I'm faced away from it. It's still coming from
So
the
it's
northeast.
sort of pushing you, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
on our quad screen,
It's really getting cloudy
looks
here.
like we saw a temperature increase. maybe
like
during that sampling.
visibility of D2's kind of
Yeah, it's starting to.
coming
Can't
down.
quite see the full
I pulled
range
up
of the
a bit on
temperature
Sirius.
scale.
Oh, okay.
It's hard
I'm
to read it
paranoid
when
about
it's
the tether. I
small.
know it's fine.
Yeah. Just
So,
come
if
down
I
so we
go
get a little
to-
better visual.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pilot.
But it's good instincts though.
Copilot.
Definitely. Sorry,
Oh, that
Ashley,
is
were you saying something?
cloudiness.
No, I'm trying to see what the temperature difference was when we were sampling. So
Okay.
ignore me.
Watch leads, we went up about 1 degree when we were sampling.
Tara, can you? I know it's not going to look pretty, but can you turn the gain up on Sirius or
Yep, I can gain up, no
bring
problem.
it out? Thanks.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a delta
over
of
over the
only
edge
20.
of this
It's
precipice
cloudy.
that we're approaching, at least on the bathymetry map, this is the location of the pond that Bill Chadwick saw in 2006.
We're looking down into something
Yeah,
now.
if we can look down into this without getting too close, it may give us some interesting video.
There's definitely something smoking down there.
Right. Oh yeah.
Can
There's
you
a
gain up on
plume
D2?
of
Just for a second.
Yes.
smoke coming
I'm
up
following you
off
on
the surface.
Sirius.
Yeah, you can turn your heading to look into me.
Okay, Bill Chadwick, I think we might be here.
Okay, you want to do a zoom?
It looks like there's a ring of smoke coming up from the seafloor. What do you think?
Down in there, it's hard to see.
Yep.
Possible we could be.
Just gonna try without the gain just to compare.
Depression.
Yeah, you got
looking
both
down.
lights out right now.
I think
Dan?
so.
It might be that.
Just give you a heads up.
It might be
On
better
D2?
to approach it from the
Oh.
other
Yeah, they're,
side,
swing arms
'cause
are
it's
in there.
awful
Oh,
deep
out.
from here
Okay.
down into there.
I agree. The
Looks
problem
like
is the
ports
You
pilots.
can see
Maybe.
it better than I can.
No,
I
on
could.
the
I
rail cams
can
look
see it
Everything's clear,
just
yeah.
as well as you. I think the problem is that the pilots don't want to go around that direction because that's the direction the plume's going in, and they wouldn't be able to see as they approached the pond. So if you're
Getting a little
staying
spread out. Maybe
up
we should
current
move.
from it,
Well, I
it
want
makes
to
it easier
figure
to
out what
see.
direction we want to go in.
Okay, fine.
How close can we get a zoom on this pilot?
Let's zoom out a bit,
It
Tara.
does sort of look like there's a lake shore down in there, huh? Where there's fume coming off.
How's it
of
look on sonar?
something,
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we might be able to go
Yeah, absolutely.
kind of this way around it.
And yes,
Okay.
that
I
would be
can't tell much from
consistent
mine.
with
All
the
I
sulfur
see on
pond.
Sirius sonar is that
Yeah, I think so,
spire you were
Bill.
looking
It does
at,
look
and
like
I
there's a
think
lip
that's really
of
all I see
dark.
on
Why don't you
yours
turn
as well.
turn
It's
Sirius
not,
to
it's
look
not
at me?
that light color that you saw
am.
last time. It's a little darker.
Let's get a heading in like this direction. We could bring Sirius towards me,
Toward you
and
would
I
be
could
about
I could
180.
saddle around.
So we've got our
Yeah.
super expert pilot up there.
It'd be 180
And
roughly.
he's just maneuvering around a little
roughly.
bit to
Yeah. Want
starboard.
to do 20 meters or?
Kind of getting blown around.
Let's do 15.
Okay. Yeah.
Certainly a lot of
I'll
white,
call it in.
white
Thank you.
sulfury smoke coming out of there.
Right. Yeah, and when we first approached it, it looked like it's kind of in a ring. And that's what made me think maybe that's the edge of the active
Bridge,
sulfur
ROV now.
pond.
Ready for a ship move.
Oh, you can see a
15
little bit of
meters,
white
bearing
on the left
180
side.
degrees,
You-
decimal 2
You
knots.
probably will see it in about 5 or 8 seconds. And then quite steep.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Yeah, there's a rim at the base of the vertical scarp.
Right.
Can't actually see the surface of what might be a pond, though, because it's just covered with smoke, Bill. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a. You might try zooming in to the
Right.
the edges, or
Yeah,
because
we'll
sometimes
zoom in here in a
the
minute.
plumes sort of walk
So
around,
this,
and you
judging by the
Right.
waypoints on high pack, this must be
like
the plume
near,
base from yesterday
shore
that
in
they
the
saw.
lower
Okay.
kind
On
of
the-
right middle.
This is the where
So
they-
you
where
think
they're
this is the
estimating.
source of the major
Right.
plume?
There's another
Okay.
waypoint. There's 2
Because,
waypoints that are
If it
both
is, we
bases
probably
of
see some
plumes.
bubbling or
You're at
or
waypoint
some
3,
moving around
looks like, and there's one uphill here as well.
Right.
I think
Okay,
this is-
pilot,
think
as
of
the
on the right
as
side
Tug
there,
it
it's,
around, but you don't get
we can
it
see
down.
some dark areas on the right.
Okay.
Shoreline, sort of.
Yeah, it does look somewhat familiar.
any place.
We always approach from the other side.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Yeah.
Different view.
Okay.
Yeah, if we could just try a zoom.
Yeah, what about this little area here? Do you want to see the
Okay.
big pond?
Yeah,
Right,
that looks
like it's promising.
the gray ledge that you're looking at is probably the crust of the liquid stuff. So you don't want to get too close.
Yeah, be careful.
Sure. Okay.
Actually, it looks like the smoke's coming from lower down. Bill, I think this crust that we're seeing, the ledge, where you have this singular plume coming out, that might be the ledge of the old pond, and I have a feeling that the liquid layer is at deeper down.
Hold that.
Yeah.
And then I'll pan left.
I think the pond in 26. Let's see, 2006.
Right.
It was really black.
Yep.
And flat, of course.
Right.
I think it's off. I think we're seeing the edge of it on the left side.
Right.
There, maybe.
Okay.
The left side or the right side?
Or maybe it's.
It might be a bit of a delay,
Yeah, you're probably seeing a delay.
but probably looking at the same thing here.
What I'm
I haven't seen anything really definitive yet.
Yeah, you can tell
obviously
the
some
current's kind of swirling
sulfur
around because the
edge.
smoke is
I
changing directions consistently.
So all those little dark spots over on
so
the
if I
right-hand
lose
side are
visibility,
flatfish.
I'm going
Right.
to pull up and just hit hard to port
okay.
so you
Thank
maintain
you.
visibility.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that'd be good. My visibility appears pretty good,
Yeah.
so I think I'm above it.
If we
I
could-
think a good eye on
Ship's
it.
almost done
Or
with the move.
even
Okay.
just hover here
Yeah,
and
we're looking
kind
good.
of Keep the
Nearly
approximately
above
the
you. I'm
same
behind
view
you.
just
Actually,
for a while
no,
because
I'm a fair bit behind.
Yeah,
we might
this
see
is- that's
something
good.
as
I just-
the
I don't
plume
want-
wafts around.
I was afraid of the plume. Like,
We might
if
catch
we
a
got
glimpse
two on top of
underneath
D2,
there
the
a
plume
little
would just
bit
come up
further
and
than we
block
can
our
see
view.
now.
So
I'm
think we're in a
afraid
good
the
position
pilot
here.
has moved a little bit to the left. Pilot,
yeah,
what
go
Bill
ahead.
is suggesting is that in the dark
Zoom out.
area in front of us,
Yeah,
we might be able to see. I know that the plume is moving around,
It
but
is,
if
yeah.
it dissipates at all and we can get a quick zoom on the darkest areas, might be able to see the surface of this pool of sulfur.
okay, I can try.
So we'll try,
Yeah,
Bill.
ship's in position,
There's an
pilots.
awful lot
Okay.
of
Great.
sulfur smoke coming out of here this time.
Right, and it's quite a bit below us too, which makes it.
I think so. Yeah, I think the level has dropped.
So is this the site that was visited?
Yep.
2006?
Yeah, this is definitely it.
Lower.
Looks
so
very
it,
similar.
When you come in from the other side, you're closer to the level of the pond.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to
Understood.
do that this time.
That's the direction which the plume's going this
Yeah.
time. So we're kind of stuck approaching it from here.
There's a little
Gotcha.
break in the smoke.
Can we give you a
Okay,
little tether?
everybody blow. Beautiful view, though. This is
I
really
Let's kill the
mark when
lasers.
We can see.
And you
great
can lose the
stuff.
skids.
Yeah, thank you.
Lasers going off.
You can see there's kind of sheets of bubbles rising up.
She should
Yeah.
have plenty of tether.
Okay, my
the
tail
white
end is
cloud,
down.
and especially to the left,
Yes,
Go ahead
indeed.
and zoom in.
but all along the edge of the.
Go ahead.
the
Okay.
depression.
Tighter. And do everything you can to pop it.
Sounds good.
No, it's not easy.
We'll see how much we can get out of there. Going to take a little more zoom.
Okay, within the limits of navigation, Bill, we are at waypoint 3, and
Okay,
this
zoom out.
is the place where the base
Zoom out
of
partial,
the
Tara.
plume that was imaged from yesterday's bathymetry and
What kind of temperatures are we seeing? I'm just curious.
water column
12 and a half.
scanning
13. It's
was located. So the slick
I'll let you know
on
if
the
there's a
water
spike.
column,
Okay, thank you.
water surface that we saw from yesterday was related
Go
to
ahead and zoom
this plume. So, gee, maybe the sulfur pool was a little bit different from where you saw it in 2006. Just, it's only about 10 meters away, so it could be the same thing. sure looks like the same sort of
I
topography.
would say the same thing.
Yep.
And I think what you must have seen at the surface must have been a result of the CO2 bubble
Yeah,
plume coming
exactly.
to the surface, because I think that would be the only thing that would make it all the way to the surface. All this
zoom out.
cloudy plume almost certainly doesn't rise all the way to the surface. Probably just rises.
Since it's
a few
consistently
centimeters
blowing off to that direction, I'm just
spreads
gonna.
out laterally.
Oh yeah, I agree. And there's no discoloration whatsoever. We were looking for pumice and discoloration and thinking about, is this active or not? But it just looked pretty calm. And I agree with you. This must be the CO2 bubbles
Formation
coming up.
there.
It was interesting that it made quite a significant impression on the sea surface. Just really sort of calmed the water down.
I'm just gonna move out a hair.
Well, it looks like this would be pretty difficult to see through.
Yep.
Let's do
I
a
would suggest
partial zoom here,
maybe
Tara.
backing up or turning around and having a look at those lower little mini craters, and then we could
Go tighter.
probably proceed upslope
Hold
towards
there.
the larger crater after that.
Okay,
What do you
I
think?
will relay that to our pilots. Pilots, what the shore would like to do, since we're probably unlikely to be able to see the surface of
Yeah,
this
unfortunately.
liquid pond,
Yeah.
is to go back to where we saw the smaller depressions where you sampled
Okay.
the sample, and just look into those depressions for a little bit, and then maybe proceed. Boy, there are a lot of gas bubbles coming up with the sulfur clouds. That must be what we were seeing on the surface.
Yeah, a lot of CO2.
Lots and lots of
So,
CO2 bubbles.
Dave and Verena, chime in if you have some other ideas.
No, I think the plan sounds fine. I mean, that does definitely
out.
look like the sulfur pond and just being obscured by clouds. So, yeah, maybe you can see it if you come around the other side.
There were some other depressions that had a bunch of venting coming out of them behind us, so I thought we'd at least go by those too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Pretty interesting incrustations here, but still more gas bubbles everywhere.
Let's okay, so we just want to go back to those areas that we were sampling from, right?
Right.
Which is right
So
here.
where there were a lot of those little depressions.
I would like to
Let's
turn
just-
to starboard. If,
You want to turn to starboard?
well, I
Oh, to
have
see the
a
tether.
wrap relative to the ship.
We can get wraps out later too.
Yeah, it's
Well, it's cool that
it's not too big of
appears
a
to still be
problem
here,
right
and
now.
that
Okay.
there's, although we didn't confirm
What I
that
would
there
like
was
to
still
have you
molten sulfur in it.
do-
Obviously, still venting a lot of CO2 and coming out.
Tether should be okay either way.
A lot of venting in
I
this
think just
general
pull
area.
up a bit.
Yeah.
So that's
And I think we can just stay here. And I'll
Interesting.
stay right below you.
It is
Okay.
indeed.
The current is definitely increasing.
Yeah,
Coming
this
from the
place,
northeast.
It's not at all a normal hydrothermal area
Right
where
there.
you get warm water coming out. It's just completely
The current's
dominated by the
increasing,
magnetic
The current
gas.
is increasing, yes.
And,
Kind of losing sight of
What
you.
direction?
what we're
Yeah.
seeing with the white clouds.
It's coming from the northeast.
Tiny particles
Okay,
of
thank you.
elemental sulfur that are coming out of there that result from the sulfur dioxide magmatic gas reacting with water. But it's hard to actually find
Stick
warm
with this
water
one.
here. You can find liquid sulfur and lots of CO2 bubbles as they get separated by virtue of how soluble they are in water. The sulfur being extremely soluble in water, and its SO2 hits
Go and zoom
seawater. It reacts and forms sulfur and
Right above
sulfuric
you.
acid,
Yep.
Mhm.
Thanks.
making some very corrosive mixtures. But they're not the typical high-temperature fluids you get on mid-ocean ridge sites where you have a deep reaction zone, hot water reacts with rocks, so it comes to equilibrium. comes back up.
Pilot, if you were comfortable, could we get a closer?
Very near
Yeah,
the
I'm actually going to
floor,
move in.
interaction
move
of
in a bit.
magmatic gas.
Get you an even better image.
Roger.
I did see quite a bit of shimmering water earlier around the sites. A lot of crabs right here.
There are. Yeah, I was just going to ask
If you
about.
remember, deeper down.
Go ahead, Verena.
Deeper on this site. Yeah, I was just going to say deeper on this site, there's tube worms. Where we were going to land, we would have landed among Lamellabrachia.
Oh.
So there is sulfide coming out. And I vaguely remember we saw just very creeping seepage deeper down.
Just touch my toe.
See that little crab on the left, his mouth parts are moving.
Anybody play Half-Life?
Oh, now this one is moving. What great video. Now I wonder how warm the temperatures that we're seeing from both the temperature probe and the temperature sensor on the vehicle are about 12.7 to 12.8 is the highest, and then I'm not sure which of these is which. The blue one on your screen, and the range on your feed is from 12.1 to 12.9. So it's just a very slight change in temperature. So I guess the crabs don't mind 12 degrees C.
Okay, do you mind if I zoom in a bit
Perfectly
tighter
comfortable
Sure.
sitting in the
that's
warm fluids coming out of the vents.
A spa.
Just want to
A
get a nice
spa.
tight
A
shot
crab
of
spa.
the
But
liquid
one of them's
moving around.
upside down. That's cool. Resting on his back.
Sorry, Tara.
In the
Zoom out a
back.
bit.
These little things rolling along the seafloor
yanking you
are
around?
No, I don't think
probably
so.
from the
Well,
prop
oh,
wash.
you're 25. Okay, yeah, come down a few meters.
Propellers are
Sorry, last time I looked, you were
wafting
at
the
20,
things around
21.
on the seafloor, and that's bacterial mat rolling around. So the bacteria are growing as a consequence of
Just a little
their
bit more.
metabolism
That's good.
needing the sulfur and the minerals in the effluent for their metabolism. Lots and lots of crabs.
Okay. You want to keep looking at these other areas? Let's zoom out.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm just trying to remember if there were more little pits around here.
I think there are kind of behind me here.
Not sure where the smoke on the left side of the screen is coming from. So we're looking around to see if we can see any more of these little depressions with bubbles and sulfur gas coming out of them.
Yeah, I think the ones I was thinking of were off in the distance there, maybe.
Just in front of us?
I think to the left, we panned past them.
Yeah, I think
down
you're right.
close to
Yeah, Pilot, I think they're to the left, kind of down slope a bit.
Yeah, they were just a few meters lower than when we were looking down into where we thought the pond was.
Now, is this the one we were
Okay.
just looking in?
Yeah, so let's
Okay.
let's just back
Yep.
the ship up.
Yeah.
Where we
Yeah,
were?
that would be
Yeah.
good.
We can do that.
It's
Actually,
totally fine. Yeah, go ahead,
I
watch
think
it.
they were left, and I think they were a little north of our current
Go ahead,
position.
Bridge. Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Ooh, look at all the fish on the seafloor.
Oh, I see. Actually, let's hold off on that nav.
Holding off.
Yeah, you can see them better
I
against
just saw the
Against the
There's a
white.
sample
white mat. Yeah.
target on high pack.
They're really
So
all
this is
over.
exactly where we were.
bridge wanted to turn us, right?
That they can do that. That's fine.
Was this where we were looking for? I don't see that little
I
single.
don't see
Yeah, they're
that
coming to port
sulfur
20 degrees.
And
I think
don't
it's
see-
still. I think this is the lower
Yeah,
one,
that-
and then I move up here, and then that'll be where we
Okay.
sampled, according to
Roger
high
that,
pack.
pilot. Thank you.
Tilt up.
Or maybe this is one of the ones that I was thinking of. Yeah, so there's. If there's
Pilot, would you
maybe
be
a
comfortable
row of
with me
these
zooming past
kind
the
of
skids?
lateral to the right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lateral to the right.
We
Okay,
really
just lost
can't
visual.
go
I
laterally
lost you.
to the right because that puts us right,
Right
in
in
the
the-
cloud.
See your
Can't
face.
see anything
2,
there.
3, 6.
Maybe
I
we can go up and
completely
over.
lost you. I got a
Or
smoke cloud.
we
and
could
you
try-
didn't come
I
out.
think we're pulling each other here.
From where the cloud
Yeah.
is.
I see what you mean.
So hold on, watch. We just lost visual on D2, but we're
I
gonna
got
get
a tether.
readjusted, and then we'll set
We're
back
just
down.
adjusting Sirius. Hang on there on land, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay, I have you.
Yeah, I think folks want to take a look in this
Okay.
pit in front of us.
pretty
I think was where
way
was
high.
that.
I'm not bad.
Oh, you're not
area
that.
was
Yeah,
that we
you're fine.
were talking about how it had
My tether
overflowed and
looks
made
good.
those sulfur crusts.
Okay, I have you.
so
you
Yeah,
can
I saw
continue.
those.
These ones that are below us
So,
are
let's
some
see
of those
here.
lower little mini
Come back
craters.
down.
Right. Do you want to take a look in those before we go up
So I'm
to the
coming
left?
back down. Watch, lead. We got visual.
I think.
Actually, you know what I can do?
You know, if we're flying over them, we can kind of get an idea.
Okay.
Can you point a light at me?
Obviously, there's
Actually, they're already on.
both the sulfur cloud and the CO2 bubbles coming out
Yeah,
of these.
the auxiliaries
Right.
are already on.
Okay.
I think you can come down a few meters. Just so you
I'm
can
gonna start smacking my tether. If I come, oh, I could come down a little.
you can come down a bit, yeah. Just so you can see my light bars.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I looked away and lost you again. There you
There
go.
we go. Perfect. All right, we're
Okay.
good. We're set up.
Let's see, I guess at some point we'll want to move upslope to the southeast. So, I guess the pilots will have to decide where they want to do that. If they want to be up current, then we might have to go lateral to the left a bit.
Right.
But
Right.
up to you guys.
Okay. Yeah, these are the pits they were interested in, where there were those crusts. And it looks like there might be a chimney structure right in front of us. I'm not sure if that's just
It's a crab
that-
fight to the left.
incrustation on the slope or if it's an individual crust.
We had a
Yeah,
crab
structure.
fight
Check
to
it
the
out.
left.
So we're going to try to zoom in here.
More sulfur crust.
Yeah, I think it's just sulfur, maybe spatter or something, coating the slope.
go partial?
See how a lot of these vents are
Sure.
in little depressions,
Right.
concentrated flow, and maybe once in a while it spits sulfur out of it.
Right. Lots of bubbles in this cloud. Look at that.
Okay, you can come up a few meters.
See some of those sort of being
Just
sulfur
make sure
straws.
keep
They're kind
keep
of
D2
They
in
are
sight.
on
Yeah,
sulfur
I
kind
Upper
of
left.
branches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
On the
like
bottom.
little chimney structures, like the tall one that we saw sticking
Yeah.
straight up. Lots of little crabs
I think
hanging out.
it's more like little tiny flows.
Mm-hmm.
Little,
Oh, you think?
Sort of like mini pillow lava, except it's sulfur.
Oh, could be. Absolutely.
You want
And
to zoom
they're
in
just-
tighter?
We've actually had dives where we watched those things, some of those things
Hold there.
form.
Wow.
We've seen little sulfur flows coming
Wow.
up and dripping down slopes.
Okay.
Sort of like, looks like candle wax pouring or something.
Oh, thank you. That's a good analogy.
Verena, have you ever
And
seen?
some of it can be dark colored. It's not all yellow. Well, as we've been saying, if you take pure sulfur and melt it, and it doesn't have to be very hot. It's just a little bit hotter than boiling water to melt sulfur.
Okay.
Then it's yellow. But if you heat it up more, it can change color. I tried doing some experiments with this in my backyard.
Zoom out a bit.
I don't really recommend it.
No, it's pretty
Don't-
stinky.
Don't try this at
Careful how
home.
you're heating the stuff up because it'll catch on fire. And
I need to haul in.
so,
Tether's doing weird things.
Yeah.
don't try this at home. But I wanted to melt some sulfur and
I think the
pour
tether's
it into
staying still, and
water
we're
and see what kind of forms to.
I'm moving quite a bit underneath of it.
But not
It's still
just
kind
an
of
easy
flowing
experiment.
from northeast.
This was like for a science
Southwest.
project for my kids.
Yes, indeed.
I had to have them
Wow.
stand back while I was trying to melt sulfur. But it'll turn black. Just if you heat it up more, it turns black. I don't
I
know
can just barely
what
see
the
you, but
trace
I'm happier with
metal
the tether.
content
Okay,
has
why
to
don't you
do
come
with the
down a bit
color,
until you can see me
probably
better?
something, but
Okay.
this sulfur on its own can be yellow or black or green sometimes.
So, Dave, do you have to get like mad scientist
There we go.
insurance?
That's good.
Probably
So we're
should
just kind
have.
of in that
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're safe. You're good.
I don't try things like that too often.
Okay.
But,
And my
but I
guess,
did get a few explosions.
Oh dear.
and my guess is that the science fair permission form doesn't have anything on there that has to do with the
Can they go partial?
hazards associated with that kind of experiment.
Wouldn't think so.
No, this never made it out of my
Ooh.
backyard. So
Yeah, we are
make it to the science fair.
engulfed in smoke. In the Sirius view, you can just make out the ROV.
Oh, but we did switch to wax instead of sulfur because it's much less flammable. It's still flammable.
Still,
but not as flammable as
still
sulfur.
flammable. Right.
All right, watch leads. It's a little cloudy.
Yeah, we can move on.
Okay, so did I hear that we're just wanting to move up slope at this point?
Explode or catch on fire in air?
The sulfur.
Okay.
I need it.
Yeah, if you get it like you
Okay,
know,
did you catch
it's,
that, Nev?
it's generating some
No, I couldn't hear her,
vapor,
but I think just up slope.
and,
Yeah, we want to go up
yeah,
slope
if
toward
the vapor
waypoint 5.
gets enough
Okay.
sulfur in it, it'll,
So let's
it'll
get a
just
bearing on that and
react
we'll get
to it.
adjusted.
Copy
You know,
that.
if you get a
Sirius
spark
to
near it, too much heat in
waypoint
there,
5 is 150.
150.
Sirius.
So I
but
asked
you are
I asked Verena Tunnicliffe about these crabs and what
so
they
you'd need
eat,
to
and I asked if they
kinda
would
back up and
eat
turn
some of
to-
these
yeah.
flatfish, and she
get to
confirmed
about
yes, she
180
has seen
without
them
losing.
attack the fish,
Yeah, I'm coming
and they're
around.
also
And then
cannibalistic.
lateral
They'll
left,
eat each other.
lateral. Yeah.
Yeah, losing the skids is fine, Tara.
All right.
You got some. Okay, it's just the slope on your left.
Yep.
Fine.
Yeah, we're all good. It's not even
Okay.
Steep.
Yeah.
coming up. Cool layering here.
So I'd say slowly work our way to 5 as you scout out for us.
Yeah, but Bob was just commenting how we haven't seen
She
any
said
lava
really like
rocks
to be 3
so
meters
far
higher,
on
but
this
I can't
dive,
see.
in contrast to yesterday's dive. So at least
You're fine. You're all right.
Daikoku, in terms of its volcanic output, is mostly probably
it's fine.
ash and fragmental material, and of course we're seeing all this sulfur coatings and crusts,
With the yellow.
also stuff that was
Just gonna
that
push
was
out as
thrown
far as I
out of
can.
vents
Yeah.
and
Then I'll
falls
swing
back
around.
down.
Actually, I'm already kind of facing that direction, aren't I?
These seamounts are
Yeah, wherever
fairly
the-
close
wherever
to
the
each
safe
other,
is.
I just
too,
gotta swing
right?
forward a little bit.
Yep.
So I get
Wherever the safest direction is
Yeah,
to
I
get there.
forget the
Safest
distance
route.
between
You want
Daikoku
150?
and Daikoku.
Yeah, 150 is from
Maybe,
Sirius to waypoint 5.
20 kilometers or something.
Yeah,
That
I
looks
think
good to
so.
me.
So it's coming
Yellow is
into,
more-
yeah, the
more
yellow is the
sulfur
sulfur,
exposed.
right. And it looks like this is an overhang. Big part of the upper wall of this, I guess it's a little mound of sulfur, right? Just sort of cracked off and looks like it may be tumbling into the pit eventually. So we're seeing some of the yellow sulfur deposit under the gray surface.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was like sulfur that filled a crack, and we're just looking at
I'm gonna zoom in.
the edge of the crack after this other part on the right has fallen away, and the rest of it is mostly sediment.
Partial.
Yeah, it does
Kinda
look.
looks that way.
I agree. It looks like sulfur crystals just coating the surface of the crack.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a little mini sulfur dike injected into that volcanic
Oh, is it
plastic
crap?
sediment.
Oh,
the,
where
at
at?
the
Watch
left
lead?
end of it there, you can see where the gray sediment had been enveloped by the
Up
end
more?
of the yellow sulfur.
Oh, up there.
Oh, there's a shrimp.
We are saying shrimp, the flatfish.
Let's zoom out, Tara, and I'm going to move in closer.
I don't know what that
Up there.
was. That black thing that we just
It
saw.
looked like another
flatfish.
Yeah, there was a flatfish, but it looked like there was another kind of fish
That's
there.
what I wondered.
Yeah.
The one that's
above
the
Yeah,
flatfish.
yeah.
Looks like they're pretty stretched out.
I see a
ask
pretty big
Yeah.
cabin area. I mean, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, pilot, if you could go down to about 4 o'clock. Sorry, the 7
You are
o'clock
pretty
position.
well ahead of me, though.
Yeah.
Nav, if you want to start moving.
Let's hold off.
Okay.
Yeah, the upper fish that's just under the ledge. That little black, really black thing.
That's
I'm
the
wondering
delta
what
of
that
only
is.
13.
Yeah, that's fine. Because when I'm upslope of you, as you can see, your altitude is over 20.
Yeah.
So 13 is totally fine. And in fact, if it wasn't going to put you into smoke, you could even come down to like 10. It'd be fine. Okay, go ahead and zoom in. And I'm sorry, watch leads. Which
Pretty dark little guy here.
down there?
Yes. I wonder if that's just a shadow or if it's a fish. Okay. Just above that, at the edge. Okay, it's just a shadow of the cracks. Never mind.
I think it may have been just one of the flatfish that
Yep.
was moving around.
Okay, let's zoom out.
All right.
So we're going to move up slope. I don't know.
Yep.
Let's
Thank
see.
you.
I'm going to move.
So, folks on
port.
shore, do you think
you
that this is all
are more or less ahead
pyroclastic
of me at
material, or do
150.
you think
Let's go ahead and get the 150 move in.
sulfur
You want 20 meters or?
30,
splashes?
30 meters.
Looks
Excellent.
volcaniclastic to me, but I sure would love to hear some people who've been here before.
Tara, can you?
Tell us what
Bridge,
we're
RV
looking
nav.
at.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
think
know it's
it's-
not going to look good, but
I think it's
the better
mostly
visibility we
ash
have.
Yeah, I'm not worried about looking.
Yeah,
at it.
that's
Just trying to keep it.
That's much better right there.
It kind of looks like,
It's,
you know, it's
at least I get the
in
silhouette
layers
now.
that are parallel.
Yeah, a
to
few
the
minutes
slope.
ago it was reflecting quite a bit.
What
I'll
it
try and
looks
keep
like.
it as
There's
clear as
you know,
possible.
there's so much
Thanks.
sulfur coming out.
Bridge,
There's
ROV
gonna be
now.
A lot of sulfur mixed in with the sediment.
Yeah, we're ready for another ship move. 30
Right. I
meters,
expect that the
bearing
sample we
150
bring
degrees,
up is gonna
decimal
be
2
kinda
knots.
stinky. The sulfur smell, for people who have never been
these
to
Good copy,
flatfish.
Bridge.
smells like a rotten egg. Quite distinct.
Yeah, normally I would have you put that move in earlier, but just how quickly we can lose visibility
Yeah,
in this water. I
definitely.
just want to make sure everything was lined up.
Yeah.
We called it in, so
Right.
That
This is
was
another
good
great
thinking
example of
ahead.
the density of these flatfish on
Yeah.
sedimented slopes of this volcano. Incredible.
Yep.
They are everywhere.
Yep. Great view for
You wanna zoom
the
in?
folks on shore who are joining us.
Yep, and these were the little guys I did see on Kasuga on that Alvin dive long
And-
ago.
In 1984.
No, it was
Yeah.
87 actually.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Oh, so you were 7 then. Oh,
Yeah, right.
got it.
2.5.
Really, there's more than there appear to be because half of them are really camouflaged. in
Yeah.
the museum. So there's some dark ones, but there's also a lot
like
of
they're
light
shimmering on
ones,
the
and
right
some are
side.
buried in sediment,
Shimmering
and so
on the right.
the actual density is just unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I kind of see that.
Yeah, they kind of bury themselves
Marina, I
in.
have a question for you about these fish.
Nice and flow out of
Are
the way.
can they survive down in normal, pelagic sediment, eating whatever's in the sediments down there, or are they only found on volcanoes?
Hey, David, it's John Rose here. Verena just stepped out for a second.
Okay.
But we've only found these guys on seamounts. We think they are vent obligate, but we don't know for sure this specific species.
So they need sulfur.
Are they, I guess, yeah. And you're saying they're really closely related, or Verena was saying this earlier, the ones here compared to the ones all the way down on the Kermadec Arc.
Yeah, those ones, morphologically, they were almost identical and at first were described as the same species, but genetically they proved to be very different.
Okay.
And they all only live in these high sulfur environments too, right? It's not just any old hydrothermal system.
No, correct. It's one where you sort of have the high
zoom out,
sulfur
Tara. I'm
sediment
gonna push ahead.
with a lot of water flow. Oh, keep coming back. But yeah, we pretty much only find them at sites like this.
So, Rena, what are your
Yeah, and this, Dave,
speculations about how sulfur is related
a
to
delta
these
of
fish?
like 10.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one
That's totally fine.
because
Yeah, I'm still at an altitude.
I always
of 20.
hesitate to stay at, but there have been a couple of
Looks like we're almost
animals
halfway through
people
the
have been
move.
looking at,
I'd say we just keep it moving from the looks of it.
suggesting
Yeah,
that
you're still out well
they
ahead
may
of
be
me.
ingesting minerals
Just touch my tail
that
end, see all the fish
feed a gut
scattering.
flora.
Makes
And
sense.
there is actually sort of a farming inside the gut. And so it's probably outrageous to suggest it, but maybe it's possible they are doing something internally in which they're using sulfur particles
Right. I'll hang out
with
here.
a gut
Yeah,
flora.
it's
Oh, so
I don't know. I just
See.
can't understand because this species and its related species in the southern arc, so we now know it from
Okay, so we
about
got 10
six
meters left.
different
How many more
places,
meters
and
do you want me to head?
always associated with
how many more
elemental sulfur.
meters?
I lost.
So by flora,
Okay.
you mean some
I
sort
see
of
my auxiliary lights there. You tilt up.
microbial symbiont, so that's
That's exactly what
Yeah, tilt
I
up
meant.
more.
somehow benefiting the fish. And so
That's,
the fish
is
eats
that
the
off
sulfur, which
horizontal?
benefits
Okay.
microbe,
Slowly
and the
come down. I'll
microbe
just hang out here.
somehow processes it in
Oh,
a
I
way
think
that
I just saw
benefits
my
the
light.
fish.
Yeah.
I think it should
So
be
different
about
kind of
30
chemos,
meters.
Growing
yeah.
biomass. But this is totally conjecture, Bill,
I
because
think you're about there. but I
nobody's
really,
done anything on it. And
don't you come
really,
up a
it
bit?
needs to be
Up,
sampled
yeah.
again, and then this time with microbial assays in the stomach.
So Dan, which way do you feel the currents right now?
So the samples
Pretty minimal.
we have gotten in the
if
past,
anything, I think it's forward to aft.
do that
It's
kind
not
of
coming in your
analysis
face?
with them in retrospect, I guess. They have to be
Yeah, it's in our
preserved
face,
in the
yeah.
right way.
Yeah, that's right. They have to be
Yeah, we
detected
just
on
lost
the ship
visibility.
I got
and
nothing.
then
I don't even
preserved
have
for
the tether.
DNA
Okay,
analysis.
hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All everything we
Sirius
collected
lights
before
on
went
right
into
now?
forming.
Serious lights
yeah.
should be.
Tara Harmaluk, I know
Yeah.
you
Should
work
we try
on,
to turn them off and
something
see if
like
we can
this
see
in,
D2 better, or-
other species. What do you
Are they
think?
all on right now?
All
yeah.
on.
Turn two of them off.
I think it would be
Okay, I just
amazing
have
if
centers.
these guys had chemoautotropic symbionts. Actually, that would be fantastic.
I'm
I
just
don't
going
see
to
any
play with the
reason why
camera
they
settings
shouldn't,
to see if I can
because no one's
get
ever
any
found
better.
any fish.
Ship move's almost done. Do you want to wait and see you find each
Yeah,
other?
definitely.
Chemoautotropic bacteria doesn't necessarily mean they aren't there.
It's interesting though, it would be a
The
very
best I
different
can do.
type of
18
symbiont,
delta is
maybe
10.
like a
Yeah,
sulfur
you just stay there and I'm
symbiont
gonna
instead of
move
a
around a bit.
sulfide oxidizer.
I can try. I have my centers on right now.
Sure,
I can
yes,
try
exactly.
killing centers and just
So
try
that's,
sides.
Right,
Dave,
yeah.
actually what we are looking for in
It's
Okeanos,
nothing.
Nothing.
And
in
that's
the
sides.
shrimp that's on Northwest Rhoda.
What's USBO measuring from distance between us?
And, it could be that,
You're looking
Come
at
tilt
I
down.
mean,
tilt down.
it wasn't that long
28.
ago
Oh,
that
sorry.
we didn't know this fish existed, so that's one reason why nobody's looked for this sort of thing. But it's,
Yeah, there.
26.
like Rena said, it's also kind of an outrageous hypothesis. But,
28.
I love it.
So there are
Sometimes
polychaetes.
those are the best kind.
Really? So those polychaetes that are living in the sediment that the fish are also eating, would they be chemosynthetic as well? Is that what they're doing, or they're just feeding on bacteria that are?
Well,
in the
there's a good question. If there are polychaetes in
Yeah,
the
I'm not
sediment,
sure
there's
which
not tons of them. That's
Yep,
what
just hold on.
because we sampled these sediments.
All right, I'm going to hang
and
out
I
here.
don't
Why don't you move your
understand
camera
how
up and down?
it's supporting this biomass of
Um,
the biomass
So
of the
get
fish.
together.
I
There's
think I might
not
be
a
at the
lot
wrong head
in there. They're there, and they're also in the
Copa, I
fish
might try
stomachs. I do
turning
find
to your
some
right a little
fish
bit. USPL's
Yeah.
got
and
you.
just
Yeah, I
a
was
few
just
coats,
trying
but
150.
there's not much in the sediment.
That should be good.
So, but then we also find these fish on the sulfur surfaces.
What's
just as
the
you've
bearing
seen.
between Sirius and
And
D2
when
and
we
USBO?
find, in some places where the
147.
molten sulfur
Yeah,
was
that's
rolling
what I
out,
thought.
146.
Nico, if you remember Bill and Bob,
It's
the
horizontal, going
flatfish
back
were
down.
right there on top. As soon as that molten sulfur congealed, the flatfish were on top of it. What's attracting them.
That is bad
Right.
visibility, isn't it?
There's something about the sulfur that
I
is
just saw
attracting them, so
something
that's
in my top right.
interesting. It's not just
See anything?
if it was
Anything in the
just
fish
the
eye?
polychaetes, they wouldn't necessarily care about sulfur unless maybe
That's right.
unless the polychaetes were dependent on it or something.
Yeah.
But like you say, it seems like there's not enough polychaetes to support all these fish, right?
Yep.
Right.
No, it's not a seething mass of polychaetes in there.
So that would lend
However,
more.
I think the fish are still eating
Wow,
meat
this is bad.